Hey there, true believers, and welcome to episode 5 of the Fantastic Four Fancast. I'm your host, Nate Charles, and I'm here with my co host, Shane Murray. Shane, how are you doing tonight?
I've had better nights, but I'm hanging in there, bud.
I'm right there with you. It has been a very taxing day. You almost weren't able to make the show tonight.
Yeah. Some technical difficulties, but we got it figured out.
So, with any luck, we'll be able to keep this thing rolling. You're operating off of a hotspot now, so hopefully we don't. And well, honestly, there's a thunderstorm happening here, or at least it's rolling up. So, hopefully we're able to maintain this going forward. Um, anyway, how was your weekend?
Uh, Pretty miserable. I'm not gonna lie. I had a 2 hour drive after work on Friday, which I mean, I guess 2 hours one way, then 2 hours back. And then I mean, that was all right. It was a niece's birthday party, so that was okay. But like the 4 hour drive didn't need that after work all week. And then this week has just been terrible. How's your weekend, buddy?
Oh man, it's a blur. I honestly don't really remember what I did this weekend, if I'm being real with you. Uh, oh, my bed arrived. Yeah, so I finally have my bed. That's cool. It's comfortable. Was able to sleep on it last night, passed right out. Awesome. Very happy with it. And yeah, other than that, watched Money in the Bank. That was predictable, except for, one thing at the very end. I don't know if you've seen it yet. So,
I have not got to watch the end of it. I started watching it with Fred this morning, and then that went sideways. So,
oh, yeah, as things are wont to do apparently in your life
uh,
right now.
yeah, it's been great. It's great to be me right now.
So yeah, and then I had doctor's appointments today and had a little personal situation with a friend, and yeah, it was a very it was not the best day for me either. But you know, I'm sorry that we're both having rough days. So on that note, how about we just take that rough day and really just double down on it and ride that train right into tonight's story.
Sure, why not?
So I'm not gonna lie about it. Aside from Mark Waid, Grant Morrison is probably my favorite writer in all of comics. But tonight we're covering the first issue of his Fantastic Four miniseries, Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, with art by Jay Lee. And to say this book is divisive among certain fans is probably an understatement.
Understatement. Let's go with that.
Um, Prior to recording tonight, Shane, you already made me feel terrible for read that issue, and now I'm going to really, really just
Double down on it.
and read it to you.
Yeah,
So, what do you say we get down to it since since you're already struggling?
yeah, I am. Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, so Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, number 1. Cover date of October 2001. Release date, however, was July 25th, 2001. Writer Grant Morrison, penciler Jay Lee, inker also Jay Lee. The colorist was Jose Villarrubia. Letterers were Richard Starkings and Wes Abbott, and the editors were Nancy Dakezian and Stuart Moore. A whopping $2.99 got you this book back in the day. Shane, you want to go ahead and take us through the cover?
Yeah, sure. The cover is a guy looking down Yancy Street, looking at a flaming four on top of the Baxter building, we would only assume, and a bunch of like road signs. Makes it feel very down to earth. Because like the weird though it is a little weird because it's like the earth is disappearing from underneath him. There's no road. Where there's road is like dust.
Very true. This was published under the Marvel Knights imprint, and you know that because of the giant Marvel Knights on the top.
I would never guessed.
Are you familiar with what Marvel Knights actually was,
Uh,
written wise?
that was like their, wasn't it their more like adult run slash offshoot series stuff?
So the Max line was the more like mature readers line, but the Marvel Knights line, if I remember reading it correctly, it was run initially at least by Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. And what it was they were given a somewhat larger budget to get bigger creators to come in and do almost like prestige format series with it. Started with Daredevil and Black Panther and Garth Ennis's Punisher. But yeah, it was just interesting. Their big thing was to just get big name talent to work on these books. And Inhumans was also one of the early Marvel Knights books. That was written by Paul Jenkins and drawn by Jay Lee, who did today's issue. So Grant Morrison, who was huge at the time, not to say that they aren't now, is definitely the definition of that sort of big name creator.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
So we open up and we get to page one with the title One Once Upon a Time on Yancy Street. And what do we see on this opening splash, Jane?
You see the thing with a street post wrapped around a couple of people and some cops pointing at him.
Moving on to the next page, we see the thing towards the top in silhouette, also still holding those criminals wrapped up in the lamppost. There are some kids in the foreground while he talks to the police. The criminals, they are complaining. Tell it to my lawyer. You broke my ribs. You see that mess on the side there? That's ribs. That's pain you don't walk away from. My wings are bleeding and ruined. The blood belongs to the police horse, you savage 4 blocks back, lady. Officer, this violent monstrosity used a public telephone booth as a weapon against me, in such a way as to render me incapable of ever fathering a child. You see also where this glass dome is cracked? That's my naked brain. Enough. And the kids start tossing rocks at the thing's back. UFF guys, you're supposed to be scientists or explorers or something, right? No offense, but you can leave the coked up super crooks kind of thing to the professionals, okay? Oh, sure. Next time Galactus turns up to chow down on the neighborhood, I'll just sit back and watch the professionals go to work, huh? And on the next page, Ben is really laying into this officer.
Yep, with a finger in the face and all.
I grew up here. I'm only trying to put something back into the community. And the officer is mumbling under his breath.
As one would do to the thing.
What? Hey, buddy, how about helping the community by getting out of the way? Says a couple of incoming firefighters. The patrol car you wrecked probably cost the department about 40 grand. Which is one less vehicle looking out for your precious neighborhood, I'd like to point that out. Shut up. Fine. Next time, save your own miserable lives. And Ben turns to walk away. So invoice me. Jeez, what a jerk. Yeah, you think that guy's bad? Don't get me started on the Human Torch. Turn the page, and we see the New York skyline, which is looking pretty gothic with the exception of the Baxter building.
Yeah, it is. It is quite the interesting look at the New York skyline.
How do you like that red sky there, Shane?
It's an interesting take, I think, that the sky is red. Very like post-apocalyptic.
Temperatures in Manhattan rose to a scorching 101 degrees this afternoon. Hurricane Stanley has been brewing in the mid-Atlantic for a couple of days now, promising the mother of all storms. Is global warming to blame? Can we pin it on the Atlanteans? Or is it just one more big cloud with a grudge? And we go into the Baxter building, and what do we see here, Shane?
Um, like a vortex fish tank? I'm not quite sure how to explain that. It's like a fish tank that goes around in a circle.
And Sue looks to be feeding the fish
Yeah.
when Johnny walks up behind her. Now they're dressed down here pretty well. What are they wearing, Shane?
Sue's just wearing like a button up, and Johnny's just wearing like a white t-shirt and jeans.
Johnny wanders behind Sue. He goes, "Ugh, I really hate the humidity. Don't you hate that? What were they saying about Atlantis? I didn't hear anything. Must be wishful thinking, sis. Reed's had the old deep in thought sign up for over a day now, hasn't he? What's it like being married to the Einstein of the 21st century? Whatever he's doing in there, I'm sure it's Johnny." And what happens there, Shane?
Uh, it looks like Johnny starts to heat up the water and starts to fry the sea creatures.
And we turn the page and we're greeted with quite a sight here.
Yeah, quite the sight. Reed's hooked up to some kind of thinking, I'm assuming thinking machine, but he's also like stretched out. It's not like it doesn't look like he's in a naturally comfortable position. His neck's a little elongated, his arms are like rubbery.
Now, you say that, but could it be that he is meditating and almost more relaxed?
Ah,
Might that be why his limbs are drooping?
I don't think so. I don't know. It seems I don't think your eyes roll in the back of your head when you're meditating.
I was going to blame the machine that was hooked up to his cranium in about 18 different places there. And we have a sign that's flashing on the outside of his room, which says "Deep in thought, keep out."
Mhm.
And Sue looks to curse as she picks up one of the apparently now dead fish out of the vortex fish tank.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Ben has returned to the Baxter building and he's greeted by the doorman. "Nice evening." "Huh?" "Access verified. Grim Benjamin. Codename The Thing." And Ben walks into the Baxter building, and this looks very, is the word postmodern?
Yeah, it's very like especially with all the stuff we've seen in the of the other parts of New York, it just seems so aggressively modern comparatively.
So he walks down the hallway. "Thanks for reminding me." "Thoughtless and stupid, Johnny. What's wrong with everyone these last few days?" "It's a joke. It's not like they're alive, Sue. What's wrong with you?" "It's not my fault Mr. Fantastic spends more time dissecting Doctor Doom robots than he does with my sister." "Those fish had names, Johnny. I don't understand why you're trying to provoke me." "Provoke? I'm just trying to lighten the atmosphere in this mausoleum. Sorry I got born. Anyway, Alicia can easily cook you up new fish, you know that." And Ben enters the room behind Johnny and Sue. "Fish at the top of the news, huh? Nobody asked about my day." Uh-oh. Is that the familiar cry for attention of the Ben Grimm bird? "I'm sorry, Ben. Ben, is something wrong?" "Yeah, the way I get treated round here." "Oh. Quit tailing me, Ben. Everybody makes out to read that I'm the one who needles you." "Cry for attention, huh? Me? It's these people out there. One minute they love you, the next you're slime they wouldn't want on their shoes." What do they hate me for? What did I ever do so wrong? Ben, nobody hates you. Nobody cares. You know what all this is about? Nothing's happening and you're bored. It's the same every time Reed goes AWOL in the depths of his mighty intellect. You're like some gigantic, angry baby with a terminal skin disease. And you can do a close up on the thing's eyes, which is very expressive.
Very, very expressive, yes.
Don't you start on me. Sneering down your nose all the time. I should break your neck. I will one day if you don't watch it. Ben, I have a date, okay? Go pick a fight with the Hulk. Or better yet, call Alicia and tell the woman who loves you just how much everyone hates you. Johnny walks away. I'm out of here. Flame on. I used to be a human being just like you. I was a man, you bum. Just want to be treated normal. And what do we see here on the following page, Shane?
We see Alicia taking a phone call from Sue, sculpting some Fantastic Four villains. Doctor Doom, Namor, the Mole Man. I'm really not sure what that thing is on the back of her head, though. I'm assuming it's like to help something.
Well, we'll find that out here soon enough. Oh, you know Ben. He always needs something or someone to fight. It stops him from feeling sorry for himself. I know. It feels like I could almost sculpt the air, it's so dense. No, I love the rain. It's so much better than music when I'm working. So, based on what's wrapping around to her mouth, I would say she's on a phone call right now.
Yeah, I got the phone call thing. It's just a weird, the whole harness behind the back of her head.
Well, here's the answer to what that is momentarily. Oh, I remember what I meant to say. Tell Reed his Omni communicator is perfect. Every appliance in the apartment is now voice operated. No, it's not clumsy at all. Reed's machines are beautiful. They're works of art, Sue. Sue, is there something? 32 hours? And he hasn't spoken to you since. Oh, Sue. You know he loves you. Why don't I send some more puppet fish over, Sue? I took a tray from the freezer. They should be ready for animation in about an hour. And she continues to sculpt. And what do we see here on the next page, Shane?
We see another shot of New York with more red and some lightning and a fantastic car that
Sue,
looks like Sue takes off by herself in.
yeah, Sue pulls on her jacket, talking to Alicia on the phone, also with a communicator. No, listen, I have a better idea, Alicia. I'm getting a little cranky. I need to get out of this place before I explode. Is that okay? Did you read that article about subtle autism I sent you? Asperger's syndrome? High intelligence, high achievement, lack of empathy, single-minded pursuit of solitary interests. Sometimes I worry about Reed. On the next page, Ben is standing in front of Reed's thinking room, and what is around him here?
What is around him? There is a looks like a Doombot behind him and just utter chaos of chords.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and lock yourself away, Reed. Like you always do when you don't want to face up to it that we're all going nuts out here. I know you got cameras recording everything, so I'm here to tell you you better be in there finding me something to hit. We need something to do with our miserable lives, Stretch. Why waste your breath on him? The lights are on, but no one is home. And who's saying those words there, Shane?
The Doombot, which seems
Pretty,
like Doom speaking through the Doombot.
yeah, it's pretty talkative for something that's in pieces.
Yeah.
And we turn the page, and what happens?
He grabs the head, just looks like he's about to smash it. Or he punched it. I guess he punched it off.
That head goes flying, starts bouncing across the floor, and then it says, "That's right. Lash out mindlessly, predictably, like the brute they have made you. As for me, I'm tired of these games. I don't know how you did this, but I'm taking you to the scrap heap, Doom." And Ben goes to pick up the head. And on the next page, he's holding it. It's almost Shakespearean, that scene from Hamlet where he's holding, I believe it's York's skull in his
Hmm.
hand. Yeah. I install backdoor access into all my machines, Benjamin. I can speak through any of them. Do you understand? I'm tired of playing the villain in Richard's private drama. I'm tired of lies. I'm tired of it all. And the in thought keep out sign flashes. So maybe we'll just go talk to Reed about your problems, huh? Be my guest. Ask him the truth if he lets you. And the sign flashes once again as a lightning storm begins outside the Baxter building. And boy, that sky is just blood red.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lightning storm.
On the next page, Ben's still holding on to that Doombot head. What's with all this truth stuff, Doom? I smell a rat going bad behind the radiator. Take the gauntlet from my dissected robot shell and put it on. You'll see. If you're so sure of yourself, you'll have no fear. And Ben takes that Doombot head and puts it on a pike.
Yes, he does. Just spikes it.
One false move, I find you and I stomp you into Earth's core, Doc. The truth about what he's done to all our lives is here if you want it, to take or to leave. My gauntlet is a space folding glove, able to reconfigure itself to accommodate the dimensions of your ungainly paw. That's it. Put it on. And this glove stretches over Ben's palm, and
Yeah,
what
but
happens?
very painfully, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he's engulfed in some sort of mystic flame, huh?
Yeah, and it's causing him severe pain.
And then, whoa! On the next page, what's happened here?
He has been teleported to Latveria, or at least wherever Doom is.
And then, good morning. 5 a.m. on the Latverian Massif, the Time Research Laboratories of Victor von Doom. The most beautiful moment of the day is when the dawn is being born, you must agree. I replay it over and over. Does Richards ever pause to watch these moments? Like Prospero, he finds true beauty only in his own rigorous attempts to comprehend and master the universe, with John Storm as his impetuous flying Ariel, and you his monstrous Caliban. This ring I conceal controls the secure bolts on the mask I wear to hide my disfigurement. And Dune holds up his hand, showing off his ring before going to the room's exit. Come, I've promised you a glimpse of the truth. And as he follows Doom, he's kind of playing with the flame on passing candles, it looks like.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of fun there.
Actually, no, that's not what he's doing. That's just him
He
throwing the
definitely
glove off.
throws the glove off, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen your ugly mug before, Vic. I don't scare that easily. What's your angle this time? 'Cause I'm losing my patience fast. Go ahead and describe the next page here, Shane.
Um, it almost looks like the top of a church. Uh,
I'm assuming
but
it's Castle Doom.
I'm also assuming it's Castle Doom. It has a very church-like structure to it. And then you see the stars above Latveria there and Doom just taking like a nice Stroll.
Enough hollow bravado, my poor, ugly, angry man. There is no more anger. Our pointless war is over. It is the end of your torment and mine, and the beginning of truth. I will show you this face, the face he gave me. Listen to my story, and then tell me you will not help me. And Doom goes to remove his mask. Me? Help Doctor Doom? Is it better be some kind of a... And Doom takes off the mask and hands it to Ben. Look, help me put an end to the sick dream of Reed Richards. And Ben's looking at the mask and then at Doom's face. It's not real. That face isn't. You've pulled stunts like this before. What is this? It don't feel right. You better explain this to me I, before you better. And we get a blank panel, which I'm assuming is there to show the passage of time as Reed explains things to Ben. Or I'm sorry,
Doom.
as Doom explains things to Ben. And when we come back to the two figures, Ben's looking kind of deflated here.
Yeah, yeah. I wish they didn't do that up close shot so big right there in the like the foreground. I wish we would have went through the panels first. But he does look miserable.
Not Reed. Ben. Good-hearted, naive Ben. Everything I've just told you is true. Reed Richards has betrayed the world. No one can understand that better than I. My people love me. I love and protect them in return, as legitimate head of a sovereign European state. And yet he has made an international devil of me, and a monster of you. This ain't right. He marries the woman you once cared for, only to ignore her. He tells you he has no cure for the cosmic radiation poisoning which robbed you of your humanity, and yet 5 minutes of your time is all I will need to restore the man you used to be. The man I remember from State University when we were young. What did you say? They re-enter Castle Doom, and what is going on here, Shane?
Um, Doom has like taken him to like a set of steps to show him something that Reed couldn't do for him.
So as we go down the page here, we actually see it seems to be a set of steps that runs around a pillar which has a blue, red, and purple doorway going through it in ascending order.
Yeah.
We freeze light here, turning time into space. You may feel a resistance as you climb the tower. That's time friction. It's perfectly normal. And Ben enters the first door, the blue door. See how easy it is to become what you were? Acceptance, dignity, the normal physical love you've been denied, all lie at the top of that stair. Ugh, if this works. And Ben then walks through the red doorway. If this is for real. And finally, the purple door. What's in it for you? And what happens to him, Shane?
He gets basically, it looks like he's getting evaporated.
When we turn the page, we're back in New York. The skies don't seem to be red any longer.
They do not.
But still, one hell of a lightning storm is going on here.
Correct. And the skyline looks more correct.
And on the street, we see that well, one, it's one way, but we're also seeing that there looks to be a sign pointing directly to the Baxter building. And we have
Which,
a man wandering up the street between cars, and he comes upon a doorman, and he puts his hand on his shoulder. Ben Grimm, you have to let me in. I'm Ben Grimm. But what's the big difference here with Ben Grimm, Shane?
He is no longer the thing. He is back to his human shape.
Hence the doorman not recognizing him and saying, No, no, you're not. I know Benjamin Grimm well. You look and act nothing like him. I'm Ben Grimm, you scrawny little freak. Now let me in there. I have to speak to Reed Richards. Professor Richards is seeing no one today, and he shoves the doorman. He'll see me. He puts his hand on the palm reader. Let me in here. Palm and retinal scans, negative match. Access denied. Professor Richards? Access denied. I don't think I belong here. And the doorman says to him, No, sir, I don't think you do. Access denied. Access denied. And Ben takes off running down the street. And he arrives where, Shane?
He arrives at the end of Yancy Street.
And he wanders up to a random passerby. Help me. I need some help. Think I've done something terrible I can't take back. The whole place is wrong. Out of my face, wise guy. You don't get it, do you? I lived here, but nothing's here. This is Yancy Street, right? That's where old man Polikoff's bakery should be. What's happened to everything? And what's happening here, Shane?
He's having like a meltdown, realizing that nothing is where it should be to like um what he's used to. And he is standing in the middle of the road, and it looks like about to be struck by traffic.
Buddy, hey, watch the car. And when we flash to Latveria, where Doom does what?
Smashes a thing doll.
How to destroy a man? Grant him his heart's desire. One. We turn the page and see what, Shane?
Ben got hit by the car and is in the road lying there, possibly dead.
As the passerby strips him of his shirt, Ben just groans, Stop. Stop, Reed. It looks like some newspapers blow over him in the street as he lies in his own blood.
Yeah, the Daily Bugle. No matter what, you gotta tell that Spider-Man is the menace somewhere in the world.
Next, two, staring at the fish tank. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, number one.
Hmm.
What do you think here, Shane?
It isn't. Oh man, I didn't like it any better than the first time I read it.
So, okay, let's contextualize this. Let's start with what you did like.
The three panels of the up close shots of Thing's face.
Okay, that's it.
That, yeah, that's it. This book was a murder for me to get through.
So, what I liked about this book more than anything else is I love the panel layout.
See, and I said like that one thing with where you see the things so distraught at the end of that. I didn't like it. It's not
But
for me.
it's not 100%, a win, but most of them, I think that the panel layout works really well. Sue flying away from the Baxter building in the Fantastic Car, the introduction of Alicia. I mean, just a lot of it. And with the smaller panels in between and then over one larger splash panel, I don't know. That design just spoke to me.
I am a big fan of not seeing blank pages and white space, so I mean, I can understand that. This this book did not speak to me in that way, but I'm glad it did for you. Everyone's got a thing, man.
I'm a Grant Morrison fan. What can I tell you? Their work is stellar in my eyes. Though I will say, as far as this series goes, I am not as big a fan of it as I am a lot of his other work. Um, but this is something different. Again, I wanted to take us a little bit away from Lee and Kirby this week and definitely dive into something different. And this seemed to be as different as we could get.
Oh, this is night and day different, buddy. No positive, no hijinks, just
Hey, we got three more issues. Let's see where it takes us.
for some reason I don't think there's going to be hijinks or positivity coming in this series.
So let's kind of contextualize some of this. Let's move on to our four things, which this week we're doing favorite panel, this age poorly, what were they thinking, and a new one. We're going to swap out MVP with page turner moment, which is a moment which made us want to turn to the next page and see what happened. So Shane, I'm going to let you start with your favorite panel.
Um, the page three last panel.
That's where he's walking into or out of the debris of Yancy Street.
Uh, that is page three. The last panel on page three is the one where the hat is just slit slightly above the eyes.
That's page two.
Oh, I can't. I was using the considering the cover. I'm just going by the Marvel Unlimited page.
Okay. So we'll call that page two, last panel.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually, that's really cool. What do you like about that panel? Why does it
I
speak to you?
re I really like the blue eyes shine out really nice. I really like having the hat cover it up and give the nice shadow over top of the rock face. And it's just enough there to show you that he's made out of rock. What is your favorite panel from the book, buddy?
So mine is going to be page nine, panel one,
Actual page nine?
actual page nine. It's the introduction of Alicia Masters in this story.
Okay.
So what I really like, one, I just really like Alicia Masters as a character. Uh, the fact that you have her sculpting Fantastic Four villains, I think, you know, speaks to what her character does as a sculptor. Obviously, they're beautifully rendered sculptures. You can tell that they have an entirely different texture, uh, comparatively speaking, to Alicia. Um, and the other thing I like is, I know you were kind of questioning it earlier, but the communicator apparatus on her head, I really like just the future tech design of it, and it's kind of a dichotomy that I really enjoy between those sculpted clay statues and the, metal future tech. I think it's just a really cool two ends of the spectrum that you get from Jay Lee's art here. You get metal, flesh, and stone, and it's all just very different, very differently rendered from each other.
That's fair. That's a fair look at that panel. That is a good panel. Uh, I just really like the things one myself. So what do you got for number two, buddy?
For this age poorly,
Yeah.
so we are going to actually hop to the next page, which is page 10, the whole page where Sue is talking about Asperger's syndrome. And I'm going to pick that because Asperger's syndrome is no longer a diagnosis. It's actually been merged with other conditions into the autism spectrum. So, yeah, no longer recognized by the World Health Organization. And honestly, I just feel like there's a big stigma that comes attached to that term at this point.
That was my one for number three. So that's kind of funny.
But we'll get to that. How about you? What do you have for this age poorly?
Mine was because at this point, and I guess especially just because we were reading the Kirby stuff, and my brain just wasn't, I don't know if my brain wasn't wrapping around it. It was the entire thing of Ben's desire to just feel like like justified, like the need to feel human again. Because I mean, I feel like at this point he's already been like walking around. I guess this is a different story, and I should look at it from a different story. Like he's been like, I'm so happy to be Ben. Look at beautiful Ben Grimm. I'm beautiful. Look at me. Especially when he's married. Once he's finally married, like I don't. I have a really hard time with that.
To be fair, he isn't married yet in continuity by the time of this story, but I do feel like we have hit the point where yes, Ben should be past this particular set of emotions.
Well, I mean, even Johnny says like, "Oh, we should even tell the woman you that loves you that everyone hates you." It's in there, so like that's what I mean. Like that, I just ugh.
That being said, we all have bad days, right? Maybe this is just Ben having a bad day and, get
It only
trapped in that self-pity every now and then.
only takes one bad day, is what they say.
As far as what were they thinking, what was yours again there, Shane?
The Asperger syndrome thing. I, I, it just seems like a very. It would have been, I guess, cool at the time, but it's like, ugh. We didn't really need to try to pin what's wrong with Reed. Reed's just Reed. But I'm not Morrison, so I can't say what they were looking to do there. So, what is what is yours for number three, buddy?
So I'm gonna go with pages 16 and 17. When they're on the roof of Castle Doom, Doctor Doom and Ben Grimm. And it's just, why does Ben buy what Doom is selling here? He outright states that Doom has pulled stunts like this before. What makes this time different? Now, this is the first issue. This is probably going to get addressed within the next three issues. I haven't read this series in a little bit. I don't exactly remember. It has to be, right? Like it's a big plot hole, but it makes no sense to me why Ben would even think to trust Victor Von Doom after everything these two characters have been through.
Yeah, it's a wild, like there's wild things that happen in this book, and that's just one of them.
And then for the page turner moment, I'm going to have to go with page 14, panel 4, which is when Ben has slipped the Doom bot's gauntlet on over his hand and is suddenly engulfed in mystical flame. Uh, I didn't know if this thing was just attacking him. I definitely didn't think initially that it was transporting him. So I was very, very interested to see what the outcome of that situation was going to be. You know, could have just as easily been that turned him back into Ben Grimm, but
Well,
we
that
need
would
to
have
have
been
that conversation.
that would have been an interesting take on it. That was also my page turner moment was the Doom Gauntlet that he fell for like, well, I can this gauntlet will just fit on my hand. Yeah, let's see where this happens. Like, come on, dude, it's Doom. Nothing good can come from it. You know it yourself.
The only other that's really, I feel like, the only choice in the issue to be a page turning moment, unless you're going to take like the last page, and then when you turn the page, the book is just done. So unless you're going right into the second issue, right? But
Yeah.
so I kind of disqualified that from my mind.
This is by far the best one in the book. Unless you use the first one where he's just carrying around a person on like the cross that it's the street sign.
Just two people, which is even more hilarious.
That was his cross to bear.
Is their cross to bear. Well, Shane, since I know you love this story so much, let me tell you where you can find it. If you can always search the back issue bins. I mean, that's definitely a choice. But they did release a trade paperback in 2002. And then in 2011, a whole 9 years later, they released a hardcover. And then it was out of print for years until 2018, where as opposed to just naming it Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, it was collected again in trade paperback as Marvel Knights Fantastic Four by Morrison and Lee. You can also find it on Marvel Unlimited. If you're using the app, you can find it really easily. If you're on a computer, it is a nightmare. It took me 45 minutes to find this book on my computer
Why don't you just use the app?
because it's easier for me to do it on the computer when you and I are talking instead of constantly going back and forth to my phone.
Fair,
Which,
fair.
my battery life doesn't necessarily function all that great when I'm doing multiple things. So, yeah, I didn't want to run the risk. A little behind the scenes peek for you folks.
I am still at 35% with running the.
Hey, Shane,
Yeah,
nobody likes a braggart.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. She's just trucking.
Yeah, as far as I know, this has not been adapted into any sort of other media.
Thank God.
So yeah,
Thank God.
here's a question for you. So we're on issue 1. You obviously are not a fan.
No, no. I said maybe something changes, but this first book was so bad.
Hypothetically speaking, what would turn this story around for you?
Uh, Doom disappearing.
Just no Doctor Doom?
Yeah, just Doom just disappearing. Apparently, they can just kill Ben Grimm, so why not just kill Doom?
Well, we don't know if Ben's dead.
Or we can assume by the end of the first book that Ben is dead after he's been hit as a human by a car
I mean,
and
human
barely could and
aren't
barely
comic
could
book
stop a guy
characters.
from taking his shirt off.
Human beings who aren't comic book characters have survived being hit by cars and mugged by passerby while lying in the middle of the highway. We can't just assume Ben's dead.
While lying in the middle. Fair enough. They're also not in New
The
York
power of
City.
positivity, sir. Power of positivity.
Well, I was positive. I even gave you all of the negative stuff before this. I've been very good about this the whole time. And I had reasons. I didn't even come in just ma. I didn't come in here like Ben just being like, ah, this book's
I gotta sit
bomb.
here. I gotta sit here and poke the bear.
I was absolutely not even being mean. I just don't like this book. This book's not for me. It's for someone, not me.
Well, sir, the cool thing is that we will end up revisiting this book.
Right before you go, right before you go to
Well,
California.
actually, I was looking at the calendar and I realized that we normally would do this in the second week, but we already talked about doing something else to tie in with something that's coming out that week, which we'll get into later on down the line. I don't want to spoil that. So it might be something we come back to, yeah, maybe just over a month away. Maybe we'll come back to it the week of the 14th, 15th. Don't hold me to that, but hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, the week before you go to what's it called?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how that all pans out, but we will be coming back and doing issue 2, sometime in the month of July.
Yep.
All right. Any other thoughts there, Shane?
Uh, no. I gotta on top of all the rest of the shenanigans that has happened this weekend, reading this book was just probably not the best time for me to be in the right headspace to try to digest anything Morrison writes. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but as always, I'm glad you were able to join me on another examination of a Fantastic Four book.
I'm glad
It's
that
literally
you enjoy Morrison. Let's just put it that way. Someone has to.
oh man, make me feel bad. This is a highlight of my week is doing this show with you, man.
I love doing the show. The show's not a problem. This that was. I did my best.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, Morrison only did one Fantastic Four series that I can think of, and it's this one. So once it's over, we're done.
I just thought that like it was weird that somebody made it a Fantastic Four book more miserable than Ultimate Fantastic Four. But that's okay. I'm here for the positive.
And we're here for you, buddy. All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us for this episode of the Fantastic Four Fancast. If you have the time, please go ahead and leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Leave a comment on Spotify. We look forward to your feedback. I'm Nate Charles. He's Shane Murray, and we just hope you have a good time.
Read some Lee and Kirby, it'll get the taste out of your mouth.
And we can't even leave on a positive note. Good night, everyone.